How many twists and turns can one movie actually have? Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So during the week I got to sit down and watch a pretty new movie on Netflix called I Can See You. Honestly, the movie was actually on my kind of suggested Netflix list for quite some time, so it did kind of feel like Netflix was actually pushing the movie on me. The movie is a psychological thriller starring Jon Tenney and Helen Hunt, so it kind of centers around a small town where kids have been going missing for quite some time. Just recently another kid does go missing and it kind of starts things up again. At the same time we follow kind of a family with Jon Tenney and Helen Hunt's character, and they're kind of going through this whole family drama where the wife has cheated on the husband. And that kind of is the main focus of the movie. We spend a lot of time with this family in particular rather than investigating this case. We spend a lot of time in their house and the strange occurrences that are happening. The movie also has a tendency to kind of constantly move back and forth through different timelines just to explain the events of what's happening throughout the entire film. So we're constantly kind of bouncing back and forth. At times that I guess can be a little bit confusing, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a neat way just to tell the story overall. We also have a third story and it kind of gets brought in halfway through the movie, and honestly that was my favourite part. It kind of sucks because I can't talk too much about it. It is going into spoiler territory, but for me that was the best part overall. It did explain a lot of the strange occurrences that were happening in the film, it explained a lot of the strange events, and it was a really neat twist. That's one thing I will say about this film, it constantly has twists and turns. When you think you know where the movie is going, it throws a spanner in the works and you don't know where it's going to go next. Certain characters that you get used to in the movie and you kind of know where their story is going, they are constantly revealed to be not what they seem. The only character really who had a bit of a straightforward storyline was Helen Hunt's character. Honestly, she didn't do too much in the movie, so I was disappointed with that. Seeing Helen Hunt in a movie again after quite a few years, I did think she'd have a lot more to do. She definitely is the main centre in the movie for the first half, but when things kind of kick into gear, she kind of loses steam and just goes to the sidelines. And that's a confusing part also of the movie. The first 30 minutes of this movie, I will fully admit and I will say it was very boring and tedious. I honestly did not enjoy the first 30 minutes. Over the course of those 30 minutes, I constantly found myself losing interest, not caring for the characters and really just wanting to turn it off. Now something does happen in that 30-minute mark where it changes the overall storyline of the movie and things just get kicked up a gear. It goes full speed ahead into this kind of new territory that you didn't see coming. What I like about that big twist in the movie as well, in number one, it was something I did not know about, it was something new and interesting I could learn about, but also it gives the film this kind of terrifying twist. There's a lot more story that you weren't aware of, and it does kind of explain certain events that have been happening. Now for issues I have with this movie, as I said already, the first half is quite sloppy, it's quite tedious. Nothing really happens, but also the characters just don't hold your grasp. As well as that, the acting at times and definitely the camera work can be quite sloppy. Camera work in particular, again looking at that first half, there were some decisions in there where we'd shaky cameras, we'd really long shots that didn't really go anywhere, that just did not help the movie. The acting as well, although it is definitely average, it is not Trolls level 2 bad acting, it still could have been a lot more. Particularly because Helen Hunt was in this movie, maybe I just expected a bit more. There is a scene with her in particular where she kind of has this breakdown, and more than anything else it came across as awkward and just uncomfortable. Now although I do have negatives to this movie, as I said, the acting, camera work and just the story progression isn't great at times. There is something about the twists in this movie that keep it going. Honestly, the amount of twists in this movie you will not see coming. That's one thing I enjoyed about the movie, is you think you know what's going to happen and suddenly it goes left field and you're in a completely different story. If you haven't already guys, I do recommend checking this one out. The reason I am recommending it is because if you throw it on Netflix, just like me, you might get bored within that first 30 minutes. But if you keep going, it's an enjoyable movie. Like I said, there are many twists and turns, there's quite shocking revelations in the movie, and it does kick up a gear once you get past that first half of the film. If you've seen the movie already guys, as always, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Were you a fan of it? Did it hold your interest all the way through, or did it fizzle out after that halfway mark? Did you enjoy the twists and turns? Did you see them coming? For me, I didn't see any of those twists coming, but it would be interesting to see if you saw them yourselves. As always guys, if you can subscribe to the channel, make sure you give the video a big thumbs up and follow me on social media, and I will see you in the next one.